10 Mistakes to Avoid as a New International Student in Canada. Hello and welcome to our channel. Canada is one of the best places in the world to live and study, but it can be quite different than home if you're not prepared. By avoiding these 10 common mistakes as an international student in Canada, you'll be well on your way to fully experiencing all the perks of this incredible country. Here are 10 mistakes to avoid as a new international student in Canada. 1. Not researching about the city you're moving to. Moving to a new city is always scary, but there are some things you can do to make it easier on yourself. One of the most important steps is researching the city before you move there and asking yourself if this is somewhere you want to live for a year or two. Do not underestimate how different cities will be. Even if you're moving from one major Canadian city to another, don't just assume that it will be the same. For example, Vancouver's average temperature is 11 degrees Celsius, 53 degrees Fahrenheit, while Toronto's average temperature hovers around 3 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you know what the weather's like and what to pack. 2. Not having a permanent residence strategy. Many international students come to Canada on a temporary resident visa, and if you're currently working on your post-secondary education, this may be the best option for you. If you're looking at long-term residency or permanent residency, it's important that you have a well-thought-out strategy for obtaining one of these before your time is up on your temporary visa. Getting a job while you're here is a great idea. But you'll have much more job security and you'll be able to make more money if you have your work permit tied to a permanent residency strategy, rather than only being tied to your current post-secondary program. 3. Not filling taxes. Not filling taxes is a mistake that can come back and haunt you later on down the line. Anytime you earn money, even if it's just a few dollars for doing some chores for your landlord, you are required by law to report these earnings and pay taxes on them. If you don't do this, the government will eventually find out and demand payment of your outstanding tax debt, which could be very expensive. 4. Taking breaks off school without documenting it with your designated learning institution or school. Taking breaks off school without documenting it with your DLI can lead to serious consequences, including deportation and the termination of your student visa. If you are going to take time off from school, it is important that you notify your DLI or school first and make sure that they have documented the absence for you in their system so that it does not affect your immigration status. 5. Changing your school without notifying IRCC. Changing your school without notifying IRCC could result in your study permit being revoked and you will have to leave the country. As well, if you change schools without telling IRCC and they don't know about it, they might not send you a letter for renewal of your study permit, which means that you can't stay in Canada any longer. It's best if you change your school before your study permit expires, so you have time to get a new one. If you change your school and they want proof that you will be allowed to study there, it is best if they ask for proof from IRCC because only they can tell you if it's okay or not. 6. Not building your credit history from the beginning. One of the biggest mistakes international students can make is not building a credit history from the beginning. Credit histories are what allow you to purchase things like a car or house. They are also necessary for obtaining jobs, loans, and even the ability to rent an apartment. The lack of a credit history will mean that you will have fewer options when it comes time to take out a loan, making your life more difficult than it needs to be. The best way to build a credit history from scratch is by getting a credit card and using it responsibly. This includes making payments on time and not spending more than you can afford. If you pay your bills on time and keep your balance low, it will show when lenders look at your credit report that you are responsible enough to obtain loans or rent apartments. You'll want to maintain a good credit history throughout college, because it will make life much easier when you graduate and start searching for employment. 7. Reckless with your credit card. If you are new to the country and do not have a good understanding of the currency, be careful when using your credit card. When traveling internationally, it is very easy to lose track of time and expenses, especially if you are on a tight study budget. It is best to keep your international credit card transaction receipts so that you can reconcile them at the end of your trip. Should you find yourself struggling financially, it is best to discuss your situation with a family member, friend, or your financial counselor at university. There are options and resources available for help and assistance. Do not be afraid to ask for it. Even if you can't afford it now, taking out a loan might be better than maxing out your credit card and having no way of repaying that debt later down the road. 8. Not networking with the right people. Networking with the right people is the key to success when it comes to easily finding a job and making new friends. When you are trying to find a job, there are many different avenues: career fairs, networking events, online job postings, and more. Make sure that you have done your research on all of them before picking one which will help you get the most out of your time. Be smart with what you post online. Social media is not just a good way to stay connected with friends, family, and loved ones, but it can also help you find a job. However, posting inappropriate things on social media can have consequences that are easily avoidable if you are thoughtful about what you post. 9. Finance mismanagement. Don't end up spending more money than you need to and missing out on the opportunities that studying abroad offers. Consider speaking with a financial advisor about your options for keeping your expenses down, setting up bank accounts, tax implications, and taking advantage of any other programs designed to help you succeed. If these issues seem too daunting for you, there are plenty of resources available from both universities and governments to help guide you through the process. 10. Not applying for jobs before graduation. Many international students come to Canada with plans of staying for just a few years before moving on. But if you want a Canadian experience, it's important to plan for the future. That means applying for jobs before graduation and starting early. If you're not able to get a job during your studies, don't worry, many employers want people who are fluent in English and will hire those who are graduating soon. Before you even graduate, apply for jobs. Many Canadian students take a year or two off before pursuing career, but if you're staying in Canada permanently, it's important to start applying for positions from your last semester before graduating. I hope you learned a thing or two. Be sure not to make these 10 common mistakes as a new international student in Canada, and other for your transition be as smooth and easy as possible. This video gives you a list of 10 mistakes to avoid as a new international student in Canada. Please like and share this video with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.